Hi guys, so I'm back with another book haul, and it is a massive book haul. These books have just been piling up and I really just have to haul them. You may recognise what I'm wearing. This is what I recorded my October wrap up in, because I've had so little time to sort of film and get videos up while I've got the chance. I really just want to get these books hauled, because otherwise more books will just pile up and then sort of it'll never happen. So like always, I'll start with the books that I was very kindly sent for review. The first one is from Random House, and that is Nightmares, and this is by Jason Segel and Kirsten Miller. I really love the hardback copy of this, so I might purchase one for myself, but this is a middle grade book, and it's about a boy who he thinks his new stepmother is a witch, I think, and basically they move into a new house and he just starts getting these really vivid, horrible nightmares. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to checking that one out. The next three books are from Little Brown. They're imprint Payacus. These arrived, well, when I'm recording this, they arrived yesterday, and I'm so excited for these. I'm always sort of complaining that in December I don't have very many Christmas themed books to read. I'm always basically lamenting the fact that I want to read more Christmas themed books, and Little Brown very kindly sent me three. They are all by the same author. They're by someone called Sheila Roberts, which I've never heard of before, I've not read before, but they look like really cute, funny little romance type reads, perfect for the holidays. The first one that I have is The Snow Globe, and that one is super thin, and they're all just, it says on the back, perfect for fans of Debbie Macomber, not read her before, Jill Shavis, never read her either, and Nora Roberts. You guys know I love Nora Roberts, so I'm hoping that I'll love her too. The next one that I have is Nine Lives of Christmas. Again, another really cute cover, again, really small book. And then the last one that I have is On Strike for Christmas. And I love all of the covers. I can't wait to read them next month. It's going to be fantastic. So yeah, on to the books that I've bought. It looks like crazy, but bearing in mind these have all been like bought like over like a month and a half maybe. So I've had them for a while. Some of them I only got like the other day, but you know what I mean. It's essentially a collective haul is what I'm getting at. I got a couple of books from the supermarket. I picked up Mistletoe and Snow by Nora Roberts. Again, like I was saying, I'm always sort of lamenting that I want Christmas themed books around December and very rarely have them. Plus this was a Nora Roberts book, so clearly I was going to buy it. And it's a bind up of two of her books, First Impressions and Song of the West. So again, another one to read come December. I'm so happy that I now have Christmas books to read in December. So happy. And then because we are in the run up to the holidays, there are some really great quirky books around. There always is, for sort of gift presents, for God's sake, that's the same thing. As sort of, you know, gift ideas, quirky little sort of coffee table books. And I saw two in Sainsburys, and I couldn't make up my mind between the two, so I splurged. The first one is There Are Tittles in This Title, The Weird World of Words, and this is by Mitchell Simmons. The title of this drew me in. I found it really, really funny. Tittles, in case you don't know, refer to the dot above the I, and I found that funny. It's not just about sort of words. There's sort of the meaning behind the days of the week, and there's sort of tongue twisters, and just sort of funny facts really. And it's a really, really small book, and I just thought it was so cute and funny that I had to have it. And then the other book that I really, really, really wanted was You Say Potato, and this is by Ben and David Crystal. It's a father-son duo. This cover for a start is just adorable. And it's a book about accents. Now, a lot of people don't know, but accents really intrigue me. How they're formed, why they differ so widely. Will the accent actually die out? It's just something that really intrigues me. Has for a while. It's not something I talk about, doesn't really come up, but it's something that intrigues me. And the fact that this book just explores the world of accents, and it sounds really, really funny. Where was it? This is what caught my attention. Are regional accents dying out as English becomes a global language? And most importantly of all, what went wrong in Birmingham? Not to diss on Birmingham or anything, but the Birmingham accent is quite well known. So I just thought that was funny, and I can't wait to read that. I might sort of pick it up and put it down again, not read it all in one go, but it does sound really, really interesting. Also from the supermarket, I picked this one up in Asda, I think it was. I picked up Black Ice by Becca Fitzpatrick. I wasn't going to buy this, and then Lee from Books Knows Best, he essentially sold it to me. Her Hush Hush series, I enjoyed book 1, and then earlier on this year I just marathoned the rest of the series to get it over with, and I didn't enjoy it. So I was sort of, I know it's wrong, but I was going to say, right, I'm done with Becca Fitzpatrick. And then Lee said that this one was absolutely amazing. And even though it's a thriller and it's not something that he would normally read, he really, really enjoyed it. And this cover is actually really beautiful, and it's like a velvet buttery one. So yeah, that one is Lee's fault, not mine. All the books are already falling all over the place. Ah, nightmare. Okay, and then I'm sure I picked up, yes I did, I picked up 2 more books from Asda. They were in their 2 for £7 deal. I picked up Love, Rosie by Cecilia Ahern. I've seen the trailer for the film, and this is obviously the movie cover, and I really sort of am intrigued by the film. And then I found out that this is basically told in letters, emails, text messages, and I really like the book When Boy Meets Girl by Meg Cabot, and that is told in the same way. So even though I've not read anything by Cecilia Ahern before, I thought because it was on offer in Asda, I would at least pick it up. And it's quite big, but then it's just told in like emails and stuff, so. And then the other book that I picked up from Asda was Come Back to Me by Mila Gray. And this is sort of a new adult novel that I think I added this to my to read on Goodreads. I think there's so many on there. And again, because it was in the offer, I picked it up. You guys know I love my new adult novels. And I think it's about a guy that sort of likes his best friend's sister, but you know, nothing can really happen there. But then she falls for him too, and then obviously he's like deployed. He's in the army or navy. He's in something. So I'm hoping it's a feel-good one and not a depressing one. Then a book that I pre-ordered was Hold On Tight by Abby Glines. This, I believe, is book 8 in her Sainsburys novels. I believe it is. Yeah, it's Abby Glines. I pick up all of her books, as you do. And again, the pile of books is falling. It's falling. It's falling. Another pre-order actually was Stone Cold Touch by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is the second book in her, what is the series called? I can't remember. Is it Dark Elements? Yes, it says so right there. I'm not quite with it. I haven't read White Hot Kiss yet, but now that this one's out, I might pick it up. I wanted to finish the Lux series before I started another series by her. And now that I've finished the Lux series, this will probably be the book or the series that I start by her next. Okay, on to the next huge pile of books. The first book that I have is The Rosie Effect by Graham Simpson. This is the sequel to The Rosie Project. I read The Rosie Project last year. Absolutely loved it. I recommend it if you're a fan of The Big Bang Theory, because the main character in it is essentially Sheldon Cooper. It's amazing. You know, give or take. And I really, really enjoyed it. And I didn't know there was going to be a sequel. But there is, and I can't wait to read it. Again, the cover I loved the taxi, and I loved that the end papers, like there's these taxis, and it's just really about what happens between Rosie and Don, sort of just seeing what happens to them. I can't wait to read this. I really loved the first book, so I'm a bit nervous to pick up the sequel because book one was so perfect to me and I loved it so much, but at the same time I want to see more of Don Tillman and Rosie and just where everything goes, so I'm excited for that. And then the next book that I ordered was The Outside by Laura Bickle. I was hoping that this would come in time to read in October, but unfortunately it didn't. I really loved The Hallowed Ones. I read that, I think, 3 or 4 months ago, something like that. Really enjoyed it. Sort of the Amish community and sort of the end of the world, everyone being turned into vampires, but sort of like the Amish are protected, and then she lets like an outsider in, and oh my god, it was amazing. And then the end of that book, I was like, I need the sequel, but the sequel was out in hardback and I had the paperback of The Hallowed One, so I wanted it to match. Anyway, long story short, I have the sequel. I'm really looking forward to reading this because I loved The Hallowed Ones. So yeah, I obviously had to pick that one up. The next book that I have is The Bronze Horseman by Paulina Simmons. This is a book that I have seen quite a lot of recently, on Instagram, on YouTube. It's a lot bigger than I was expecting, but I've heard amazing things about it. So, but look at the size of the text. I don't know how well you'll be able to see this. It's actually minuscule. So not only is it a book this huge, the text is minuscule. That scares me a little bit. But it's how do I explain this? It's set in Leningrad in 1941, and it's about, I don't know how you say her name. Is it Tatiana? And she meets a young officer called Alexander. And it's about how her family's suffering when Hitler sort of invades Leningrad, and how this Tatiana and Alexander are drawn to each other, and how can they be together. And it's just a very me book. I have a feeling that this is going to be emotionally destroying. There is a sequel, I think, which I might have to order before I even contemplate picking this one up, so that I know it's there to pick up when I'm emotionally destroyed. I just know it's going to be full of feels, but that's one I really wanted. Okay, and then the last books of this haul are all related. The first one is Voyager by Diana Gabaldon. This is book 3 in her Outlander series. These books just get bigger. As each book in the series goes on, they get bigger by like another 100 pages, another 200 pages. They're really huge, but I loved the first book. I'm obsessed with the TV show. It's like taking over my life. Like, I'm just all about Outlander right now. All about Outlander. To anyone watching in the US, are you able to get Outlander posters, like wall posters? Because I really want one, and I cannot find one. Because, like I say, it's taking over my life. I want a poster on my wall and I can't find one. So anyone in the US, have you seen one? Can you get them? Can you please let me know? Thank you. The next book that I got is book 4, which is Drums of Autumn. I'm pretty sure I'm showing them in the right order. Yes, I'm sure I am. Voyager is book 3. Drums of Autumn is book 4. And then I ordered book 5, which is The Fiery Cross, which is actually huge. It's like huge. I'm really intimidated by this one. This one is 1,412 pages. This is gonna give me like such a pain in my hand to read that. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know how soon I'm gonna continue with the series because they are such big books. But I really loved book 1, and like I say, I'm loving the TV show, so I knew that I had to have them. And then the last book that I have is also Outlander related, of course it is, and that's the Exile, an Outlander graphic novel, and this is a beautiful book for a start. It's absolutely stunning. And what drew me to this, I warn anybody that wants to get it. I do recommend getting it. Not that I've read it yet, but I'm a huge fan of the series, so obviously I had to have it. And it's very, very beautiful. I had to have this because it's the first book. It's Outlander, but it's not the whole of the first book to anybody. I just feel like you should know that when going into it. It's not the whole of book one. I would say it finishes off about halfway through book one. It's about half the story, maybe just over halfway. But I wanted it because the graphic novel is in the main guy, Jamie. It's in his point of view, not Claire's. Well, I think it's sort of bits and bobs, but yeah, you get from Jamie's perspective, which obviously, even though it's only about half of the book, I needed this, and it is beautiful, and I can't wait to read it, and I'm just like obsessed. I've told you it's taken over my life. I shouldn't have done that. I've currently got really bad neck pain, and that was a mistake. But yeah, that's all the books that I have to show this time. There will be more. There is always more. If you've read any of these books, let me know in the comments down below. You guys know. I love to know. If any of these don't appeal to you, also let me know. Let's get a discussion going. That's my favourite thing about YouTube, is talking to people in the comments. And I will see you guys soon. Happy reading.